Hi guys and welcome to Miss Cherry. Today we're going to revive outfits. This is something I bought from TikTok shop. I bought 3 of these, so I just wanted to experiment with one of them. The good thing about sewing alterations is you don't have to start from scratch. So we'll just make the outfit more wearable, and maybe the design, it'll be easier on the body because of the breeze that will go through your sleeves, okay, or your shoulders, because you have such nice sleeves. I'm going to show you how to make the pattern, to assemble, okay, to sew by hand. And if you're quite observant, you can see I have 2 different kinds of sleeves here, and I'm going to show you where I make the mistake. In my first try, and this is the first sleeve, the armhole is quite large. If you like that kind of design, there's no problem with that, but I want something more simple. Okay, and this is the quote-unquote culprit of the design we made. But if you like something like this, there's no problem with that. Only I want something more simple. So we're going to make the pattern, and instead of this one, so which is the right size, I'm just going to make it smaller. So I am subtracting 1 inch from the diameter of the pattern. Okay, so I am cutting that, and as you can see, I have folded this circle in quarters. And before anything, just make sure that your project is neat. So now we're going to turn it inside out. Okay, now that pattern, which is a smaller one, needs to be folded, and then just mark the middle of things, because we're going to put that middle part just exactly where your shoulders fall. So if you're going to ask me whether to use clips or pins, so for thinner fabrics, I tend to use pins. Okay, but later on you'll see we'll be using clips too, so it's nicer to have both. So I'm just dotting them. You don't have to mark them, but I just want. But despite of all the warnings, you'll see as a beginner sewist that I made a very bad way of cutting it. So yeah, I don't think I just cut it. I think I butchered it. It's so bad. Who cares about being perfect when you're having so much fun? But just to let you know that I'm aware this scrap of fabric can be used as the bias binding for our project. But I opted for a cotton, a cotton fabric, which is also scrap fabric for my other projects, because this is easier to manipulate. And since I am a beginner sewist trying to make a tutorial, I think it'll be a lot easier for you guys too, that when you try out this project, it'll be easier for you to use cotton material instead of this polyester cotton or spandex cotton, which is a little bit challenging on the hands. Now I'm gonna show you, for those people who doesn't have their own sewing machines, that this project can be made by hand sewing. So, and by the way, do you know how to sew? Okay, so I have a couple or more than a couple of videos in my channel, so you can see how to make those basic techniques for sewing. Birds of the same feathers flock together. So this is when you'll put the right side to the right side. Or yeah, I think this was where I made a mistake. So I faced the right side with the wrong side. It has to be the good side with the good side, or the wrong side with the wrong side. We're talking about the designs here, so this is where I made the mistake. But it'll be fixed later on, don't worry. Just to let you know, okay, just remember, okay, good to good, bad to bad. I thought sewing before was all about using the machine. I didn't know how much time goes with the assembly. Mistakes will be made. No matter if you like it or not, the important thing is to be patient. I didn't know before sewing how much time went through assembling projects. Okay, so you'll have to be patient. Okay, this is the end part of the piping. How would you call it? A piping or a binding? The important part is to cut a little bit longer than needed, just in case. Okay, but then this is how it looks like before you sew. I hope you can check out the pin cushion, wrist pin cushion. How do you call it? Because I have it because it's really nice to put on your hands. Because whenever you move with your sewing machine, okay, this is a ribbon shaped pin cushion, which I also made. You can check it in my videos. Okay, so whenever you take a pin, you'll have to put it back in the pin cushion. It'll take a lot of time. But if you have a wrist pin cushion, it'll facilitate your sewing. And we're just trying to meet the stitches together and make a back stitch, and then we're done with this first part. And now, okay, so as you can see, this is a circle. Okay, we're finished with it. Just trying to take out all the threads, cutting out all the unwanted threads. And this is the part where I said I made a mistake. Just remember, okay, when you have a design for your fabric, the design must face the design, okay, or at least the good part wherein you don't see the sewn parts. Okay, so because it's like this, okay, this fabric is very forgiving, but just in case you don't have a forgiving project, or you have a fabric that one face has a design and the other part is the back part of the design, so you'll have to be very careful about that. Now we're using clips, and just to let you know, I bought this from TikTok shop. Maybe I'll include some links in the comment section just because you never know. Okay, but just to let you know, almost everything I'm using here, besides the sewing machine, is very affordable. Because sewing is really a frugal lifestyle hobby. And about this serger, don't worry if you don't have a serger. You don't need this. You can easily just tuck in all the threads and all the ends of the fabric inside. I'm gonna show you how. Okay, so don't worry about it. But I just want to make the project more durable, if I may say. I don't know if you're noticing this, but I'm not pinning clockwise or counterclockwise. I am pinning with all the four corners first, okay, and then I'll go through the circumference with my clips later on. I mean clips, not pins. This would reduce the wrinkling on the parts of the areas, and it'll make things a lot easier to sew. But you know, the long and short of it, once you try this out, that's when you'll understand what I'm saying. Some people ask me why I'm sewing when it's a lot easier to buy things online. You have a lot of varieties to choose from. But then I told them I like doing things, altering things, changing things, pushing things, just, you know, making things different for myself. It's because I think it is the spice of life, and yeah, I am just enjoying my time here instead of eating, or instead of indulging in content where in fact I can make my own content. And I'm not trying to make you think like I'm better than other people. Okay, at this part, I think I am checking where the front and the back parts are. And also, okay, I think I am mimicking the design of the first sleeve, which is to have a side-by-side threads. Okay, so you'll have 2 threads as a design. So we're making just that. Okay, there you go. It's time to try it out. Let's see if this sleeve is indeed the right size. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this on. There you go. If I used the same fabric it came in with, this would have flown a lot better. But I would have to sew it crying. Let's put it that way. So what do we do with this? Okay, remember the other part, the first sleeve I made, which is a lot larger and the hole is a lot longer. Okay, so using this scrap fabric, I am going to improvise a design to just close up the front and the back parts together so the clothes will hang a lot better on me and my bra straps won't be showing. At this point, I remember thinking whether to make 2 straps or 1, but I told myself I only make 1. I'll make 1 because I don't have a lot of time. And now that I am editing this, it reminds me of making a keychain or a keychain strap. Just imagine how big this armhole is. There. So I'm trying to find where the sewn parts are. Yeah, so like the front and the back. Okay, there, I found it. So this is exactly where you'll be attaching the strap. I must confess, I'm looking at it now, I could have made it differently and made it better. Okay, especially when you know this is completely not couture and I am a complete noob when it comes to sewing. But just to let you know, so couture is when you make things beautiful, almost perfect. Even if you look at it very closely or even put it under the microscope, it's gonna be good. That's how it is. Okay, but like I said, I am not a couturier. My friends are. I'm not. So I'm just trying to have fun here. But just to let you know that I know. And I would like to add, even if it is not an excuse that this was not planned, so I think the best tool in sewing is to plan everything. Like I've mentioned before, it takes a lot longer to assemble and to prepare stuff than to actually use the sewing machine. You have to know this before you learn how to sew. So you'll have to manage your expectations. You won't always be in your machine, but I promise you'll have a lot of fun, especially if this is for you. Okay, so I'm showing here the mistake I made. Okay, so, well, just to remind myself, maybe if I review this in the future that, okay, you're not making this mistake again. But the important thing is, if you planned this sewing project, it would have been a lot better. But now I'm finished. Okay, I hope you like this tutorial, and if you have any suggestions or project recommendations, please message me on the comment section down below. And for my kababayan, so it's May 27, 2025. Aware po ba kayo na lumindol 12:18 p.m. tanghaling tapat? Ang lakas nun.